Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the McGregor Boxing Podcast. So let's get straight down to it, shall we? So obviously Conor McGregor got sparked out last night. Now I know it was in UFC, I know it's MMA, not boxing, but there are ramifications for this because obviously he was set to fight Manny Pacquiao later in the year. The deal was virtually done. Conor said Manny's obviously agreed to this as well, it's virtually signed. But now that means nothing because Conor lost, and not only that, he got knocked out in a stand-up. His previous defeats have come from submission. The fact that he's lost in a stand-up fist fight and got knocked out is worrying. So the Pacquiao fight has now lost all credibility, which is disappointing. It's disappointing as a whole because I think McGregor is a huge name, but he's clearly not the fighter at the moment he was. I believe he needs to get that swagger, that venom back. He's too much of a nice guy these days, and opponents don't fear him anymore. He's not inside their head rent free, which is such a big advantage. Back in the day, and used to get opponents out their game plans before it even got in the octagon. So it's a shame, but the Pacquiao fight is off, which leads Pacquiao to fight either Spence or Garcia. I don't think he's going to fight Crawford next. I think Crawford's going to have a bit of a deserved break while he sorts out his promotion problems with Bob Arum and Top Rank. I think he's probably going to jump ship to Al Heyman, and rightly so. But it leaves Spence there, doesn't it, for unification, which I think is a great fight. I think Pacquiao can win that. I don't think Spence is the fighter he was. Not saying he's past it, he's not, but I don't think he's in his absolute prime or pinnacle that he was a few years back. Even though, he beat Danny Garcia convincingly, but let's face it, Garcia's past his best now as well. I don't think Spence will beat Crawford. So Pacquiao's got a chance. Obviously, Pacquiao's not the Pacquiao he was, 10 years ago, but he's still a brilliant fighter. But I don't want Pacquiao fighting Garcia. Ryan Garcia. I think that's it's a lose-lose situation. If Pacquiao wins, which he, I would say he's got a 35% chance of doing still, they can say, Garcia's inexperienced, he's not ready, he's too young. But then again, youth might be too much for Pacquiao at this point, and the speed of Garcia is reminiscent of not quite, but nearly as good as Pacquiao in his prime. There's no one as quick as Pacquiao was, but he's not far off. So that's a big ask for Pacquiao. But it would draw money. It'd be a big fight. There's no question about it. Where would they fight though? Because Garcia's a lightweight, Pacquiao's a welterweight, and you can't expect the 42-year-old to drain himself. But the smart money would go, well, they're going to fight a junior welter. But that's a big loss, isn't it? £7 loss, £140 for Pacquiao. So, it's not a done deal. And, I can't see Garcia jumping up 2 weight divisions right now. That's too much of a jump for him and his frame as a young man. So, I don't want to see that fight, to be honest with you. But, money talks, and it would be a big money draw, and it could happen. I want to see the Pacquiao Spence. That would be a fantastic fight. I think Spence is the slight favourite, but Pacquiao's got a great chance. Moving on, now we know McGregor and Pacquiao's not going to happen. Wilder, the big talk is he's coming back, and he's probably going to fight Charles Martin, which is a bit of a joke fight. I mean, Martin got annihilated by Joshua about 4 years ago. Has lost since and has hardly done anything. So Wilder should have cleaned his clock. I mean, I get it's a tune-up fight, but then I say he should be targeting the WBA regular title, the only title that's available at the moment, because obviously Joshua Fury's going to happen, and they hold the belts, the rest of the belts. Now, Brett Jennings, Manuel Shah are going to be fighting very soon for that WBA regular title. Wilder should be fighting the winner of that in the summer. There's no question. Fair enough, have a tune-up fight against Charles Martin. You've been out the ring for a year. Get your time in, get your confidence, because it was a beatdown he last faced against Fury as well. Then target that WBA regular title, because let's face it, he sparks Jennings out, he sparks Manuel Shah out, and then fight Ruiz. What a brilliant fight that is. Regular defence, because I'm guessing Fury and Joshua are going to be tied in for a 2-fight deal. And then once they've gone round, they had the 2 fights, 2022, target the winner of that. That should be Wilder's plan. Get the WBA regular title, have a defence, keep busy, keep active, keep working on his skills, which he can still improve, because at heavyweights we know they develop later. So at 35 he's not washed up, whereas he may well be in the lighter weights. And then target Fury, Joshua, 2022. Let it go for this year. Don't hold on and waste any more of your career. Fury, Joshua is going to happen. You go down your own path. Alright guys, I'm out. McGregor, let's hope he rebuilds. Let's hope he stays in his lane now in the UFC, because the Manny Pacquiao fight is well and truly over.